Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Greta and I have a fantastic top 10 video for you today. You guys have asked for it. It is my top 10 sophisticated, elegant, regal fragrances for both men and women. I have some stunners here and these are going to help walk you into spring. These are going to be wonderful for the next few months. So if you want to see this top 10 list, stay tuned for that. You know I love my classy, elegant stuff. You can wear the wrong fragrance and send the wrong message. It's all about time and place of what you wear. But these are all great fragrances that I don't think you can ever wear them inappropriately. They're wonderful, classy, demure, regal. Some of them are definitely higher echelon smelling, but they're never going to be inappropriate. So let's kick that off with this one. This is Chanel Beige in the Less Exclusives line. Now, I wasn't quite sure what I thought about this when I first got it. I did know that no matter who described it, I never understood what it smelled like. I had no clue, and the notes didn't help me either. But I equate this to the no makeup look. Makeup, this is that in fragrance. Like, you know how the no makeup look is really you're wearing makeup, but you look like you're not, and you're just naturally looking good and have the perfect palette and shadows going on your face and lashes and all that. This is like that, where it's very light, demure, inoffensive. You can wear it, you don't know, like it does have that honey in there, which gives a slight bit of sweetness. But to back up to the name Beige, the reason Coco Chanel named it Beige was because like beige was this perfectly neutral palette in design. So she thought beige was just that. If it's a beige home decor, a beige outfit, a beige purse, there's something very universal about it, something very demure, unimposing, just kind of blends down. Very like jeans and t-shirt, yet looks like $1,000,000 because you're probably wearing like Todd's loafers or something, a nice necklace, just something that dresses it up that even the casual looks great. And that's this fragrance. It is honey with some white flowers. I think there's freesia in here. And is it tiara? It has that honey in here, which is delicate honey. It's not a heavy honey. It's just enough, like from a honeysuckle flower, like just enough to give a tinge of sweetness. Freesia. Now, frangipani, I have all over the front yard and on our block. There's a lot of frangipani. I know very well what that smells like. It's probably mixed in there, but this is not your overt frangipani flower. And freesia is very delicate kind of flower. In fact, I have that in the kitchen right now. Hawthorn, I think Hawthorn's mostly known for like gentle fluidity. No, I'm sorry, Metalique, I think, is the one with a lot of hawthorn in it. But this is just a very gentle, floral, slightly sweet kind of drape around you. It's not a beast, it's very gentle. And that's why this is really easy to wear, never imposing, and is very classy smelling. Sometimes I like something a little bit more than that, but this is certainly something that you can travel with and never go wrong. I wouldn't wear this for anything boom shakalaka. I wouldn't wear this for a big night out. I mean, unless you want to kind of be a wallflower a little bit, but that's what this is. The next one is, to me, kind of like that for men. And I do have the full bottle of this coming, finally, but I for now have the decant from Royalty Scents. And that's Green Irish Tweed. This one is so beautiful, vibrant, freshly showered, kind of clean. It reminds me of a man just leaving the sports club. Like he took a shower in the locker room, put this on, is just clean and sharp and going back to the office in his suit, and he just smells like this. This is money clean. Like, I love this smell. It's just so classic, universal, daytime scent, and smells like money to me. Like and I kind of hate that expression, smells like money or smells rich. Like, I kind of can't, it's just weird sounding to me. I don't know. It just sounds awkward, but that's what this is. Creed Green Irish Tweed. I've mentioned this in the recent video too, so I'm not going to belabor this one. This next one I haven't talked about in a little bit, and I really, really enjoy it. And this one is by BDK Parfums, and it is French Bouquet. You do have to like aldehydes to like this one, but it's not entirely like Chanel No. 5. It does have aldehydes as well. It's definitely more contemporary, but there's something incredibly classy and elegant about aldehydes to me. There's definitely some powderiness in here, which is, I think, coming from the violet. The violet and the aldehydes just make this beautiful, airy, but powdery, sunshine kind of scent. And then the florals come through too, and then it does settle down and the woods kind of come through, but there's just something so elegant about aldehydes to me. So fresh and beautiful and crisp, kind of. Not sharp, but crisp. You do have jasmine, rose, and orange blossom in here as well, but it's just such a beautiful one that I really look forward to as the sun starts coming out a little bit. Doesn't have to be warm out at all. It just reminds me of a clear blue sky and sunny day kind of a fragrance. It smells so good. I love that violet in there. Like, I love powdery notes and I love aldehydes. There's a touch of tobacco in here, but again, that's the kind of stuff that I get at the dry down. But there's also the creamy tonka bean and sandalwood, which as it dries down, gets a little bit of richness and creaminess to it, and it always stays fresh. And then you also have the vetiver in there, which is a fresh wood, keeping it fresh. But I find this so incredibly elegant, French Bouquet. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. The next one I had a dedicated video on, which I'll probably just put a card up, or I'll put a link down below. But it's by EBK Parfums or EBK Paris, they have both names. And I struggled because there was two that I thought of. I was a little torn here. I ended up going with the Ruby and Vanille Neroli, which is their newest release. I also kind of thought of the Tuberose. I really like their Tuberose fragrance as well. Tuberose and Moonstone. That one is just so clean, white floral. You have to be into tuberose. Not everyone likes tuberose. I find tuberose to be very beautiful and elegant as a flower. And I mean, that one is incredible. Gardenia is another flower, white floral, that I find very beautiful, elegant, and regal on a woman. This one, if you want to amp it up a little bit, you want to make it a little bit richer. The Neroli keeps it bright. It's more great for spring and summer versus the original or the one with the oud or the intense Ruby and Vanille. This one is a little bit lighter, more vibrant, yet amps it up a little bit because the vanilla in here married with the almond really gives it this nice, deep, succulent kind of vanilla, this nice, rich vanilla, but the Neroli keeps it elevated. This one's so good. So good. They're all good. I really love this house, EBK. They're incredible. All just for different occasions, but always on the mark, I'm telling you. This one and the Tuberose is probably more, the Tuberose is probably going to be the lesser imposing fragrance, but this one, gosh, even Carlos really liked this one, and y'all saw how picky he was in those videos. He really turned his head on this one. He was like, whoa, what's that? So this is definitely a goodie. The next one I also just mentioned in a video for Marshmallow, and that's my House of Sillage Whispers of Seduction. Gosh, you know I have a lot of House of Sillage. It is part of my Fab Four, if you know and you've been watching me, the Fab Four. 4 brands I absolutely love and have a massive collections of, and it's House of Sillage, Fragrance du Bois, Roja, and Xerjoff. I just love those brands. And this one's my House of Sillage Whispers of Seduction. It's in their Whispers in the Garden Noir collection. I just find this one to be incredibly elegant. It opens with this gorgeous fruity marshmallow. You have this like candied apple and marshmallow. and clementine, which gives this like fresh but sweet. But the candied apple is not like, it's not like Kayali apple. It's not like candy, right? It has this little, you really get the fresh apple part in it with a little bit of candied sweetness to it. And then again, you're gonna get that freesia, which was in the Chanel beige. You're gonna get some orange blossom velvet orchid. You get some florals in the middle, but have the orris, which I absolutely love. Orris gives it this powderiness and caramelized oud. So as it settles down, you get some of that wood coming through, but it's never this heavy oud. It stays soft, it stays more gentle, it stays demure, it's never screaming, it's never loud. There's something of like a whisper, there's something very sultry and seductive about it where it makes you come to this. Like, this does not pursue you. This does not chase you down. This wants you to chase it down. You need to come in closer to get more of this. It doesn't scream at you, which to me makes it very beautiful and seductive, demure and elegant, very elegant. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorites out of the house. And it gets better as it's been sitting on the shelf too. Really, really yummy. So you know I'm gonna put a Roja in here, right? The reality is I have this vast Roja Dove collection and I could probably pick any one of those and you're not gonna go wrong. They're all amazing, especially on the Femme side. You're never going to go wrong. There's never anything imposing. The men's side, you can get into some rich ouds over there. But on the women's side, I don't think you can really go wrong. So I chose two. I had picked one and then I thought, you know, I've seen that go out in PR. So people have heard about it. Let me cover some that doesn't go out in PR. The first one I thought of was Enigma Oud. Now, Enigma Oud. Enigma Oud, people don't know too much. So he has Enigma Parfum and Enigma Parfum. Enigma is in the USA called Creation E. There was just some legal rights things with the name rights that they couldn't use Enigma. So it's Creation E. So the Enigma Parfum, he mixed with the Amber Oud, which was another big hit. That one was more unisex. He created this hybrid between the two, and it's Enigma Oud, Enigma and the Amber Oud, Enigma Oud. So in this one, Creation E Enigma for the women is this beautiful floral with like some peachy notes to it, some fruity notes, really elegant, incredibly well blended, airy yet opulent, and then it grounds, gets this base, sultry, it's beautiful. And then the Amber Oud is literally that. It's an amber and an oud. So it has that amber resonating kind of a thing with this base of this oud. It settles down, it calms down after like 20 minutes, and then it gets beautiful. But since a lot of people have covered this one and how beautiful it is, it's also a little powderiness. He tends to have powderiness in his fragrance, which I absolutely love. But I thought, let's use one, because a lot of the exclusives are never sent out in PR. So L'Oscar, which is for the Hotel Oscar in London. And they actually have a collaboration with Roja where all their toiletries in the hotel are Roja Dove. Kind of nice place to stay. I looked at it. So they have the L'Oscar Parfum and the Parfum. I had the Parfum. And this one is beautiful, fresh, little floral, very vibrant. You can wear this in heat. You can wear this in absolute heat. It's very refreshing. And this one it's got a lot of aldehydes in it, which gives it that like fresh but powdery, airy kind of feel to it, with some orange blossom. And there's some florals in here, I think May Rose, and this muskiness, which also helps kind of give this like great little like skin scent, this clean skin with the aldehydes and the florals. And it's so beautiful and refreshing, yet beautiful. And I love this fragrance. It's wonderful in a warmer weather. I mean, you can wear this in the winter too, but there's something so light and refreshing, whereas he has so many other options that work great that are heavier than this for cooler weather. But once it warms up, this is one that you can still use and not worry about it being too strong or too much in heat. I absolutely love this one. And it's a shame that nobody's talking about it because they don't have it. It's one of those that you can't sample, you can't try. It's an exclusive to that hotel, but you can get it on the Roja Parfums website, not the RDHP website. It's so weird, but the Roja Dove site. Whenever you're looking, try both websites. They are two separate entities, both owned by Roja, but they carry different stuff. So that is L'Oscar. The next one is a fairly recent release, and it's by Fragrance du Bois, and it's their collaboration with producer Michael. It's the PM fragrance. Man, I like this one. There's a certain opulence about this. If I said it leaned a certain way, I think this is unisex. If anything, it leans a little more masculine, but I myself can wear this, but it leans a touch masculine. It opens with this beautiful floral with this pop of cardamom in there. And it has this creaminess. It has a body about it, this luxurious veil. It definitely has that like hazy emanating kind of field around you, which just exudes luxury to me. It's a very luxurious fragrance, and actually, I mean, this fits producer Michael well. Just like all their other fragrances, I do recommend like spray it, let it sit for a little bit after the travel. They always get better, the Fragrance du Bois, richer and stronger. Give it at least several days before you judge it after receiving it. It has these woody notes too. It has this amber about it. It has like labdanum and benzoin. The labdanum and benzoin in there give it that amber kind of effect. And then you have, I think there's orris in there too. There's orris root, which gives that emanating kind of powdery kind of feel to it too. And all of that gives this rich force field. There's also some woods in here that come through and give this great richness to the base of that kind of fluff field. There's a touch of leather, a cedar wood, which gives it this fresh woodiness, whole mixture of woodiness. The opening on this is stunning. There's this beautiful, like, secret floral kind of, it's so good, but you get a hint to that. That's like the first 20 minutes, but that dry down is that beautiful, luxurious veil with those woody notes swirling through and that pop of cardamom in there too. And it's so incredibly luxurious smelling. This is a really good one, especially for men. The next one is great for men or women. I think some people might think it leans feminine, but it's actually incredibly universal. It's by Xerjoff, and it is Pico Valladama. It is a beautiful aldehydic fragrance. Again, you know, because of the aldehydes, you're going to get some similarity with L'Oscar, with the Pico Valladama, with the French Bouquet, but these are all slightly different. The same type of genre where it's aldehydes and some florals and some powderiness and some musky. This has, oh gosh, it opens with that citrus and aldehydes burst. And it has this iris in it that gives it a little bit of powderiness. You have some musk in there, which just dances with the skin. And it dries down with this beautiful vanilla sandalwood creamy fragrance that it's so incredibly beautiful. And I think aldehydes are something also that once the weather starts to warm up just a touch, or the sun just starts to come out and it's a bright day, I think these aldehydic fragrances do really well. They're very classy and elegant. They always work, kind of a thing. So they're, to me, very safe in being very sophisticated, elegant, regal smelling. The next one is another new release, and this one knocked my socks off. So number 2 is by Fragrance du Bois London Spice. I do not have this full bottle. I desperately want this full bottle. I have quite a little list of fragrances that I want right now. There's been a lot of new releases. This one is incredible. I really liked London Oud. It was very masculine, and something about the dry down that kept me from buying it. But this one is amazing. It's the same notes. They took the oud out and kind of just rebalanced it a little bit, and it's stunning. I do find this one more masculine leaning, unisex to masculine, but I think on a man, this one is, mwah, it is stunning. It is regal, it is elegant, it's done right. This one opens with some fresh citruses and a little bit of spearmint. You get that lavender, which I always kind of equate with men's fragrances too, even though it's been done more recently in female fragrances. There's these marine notes in there too, which give this like vast open air kind of feeling to it, but it's really like aquatic with those citruses. It's a beautiful, elegant fougere, which goes through that classic kind of process of that open citrus burst, that lavender. There's some white florals mixed with those marine notes. And as it dries down, you get this pop of cardamom in there too, and this creamy nutmeg. And it's incredible how good they did this. Like, the balance is to perfection. And then there's patchouli and cedarwood, which I really like cedarwood. It's a nice fresh wood. Not as fresh as vetiver, which can be really fresh smelling and vibrant. Cedar is a little more sedate, but has this freshness to it. And the patchouli here, it's incredible. And it has this like fougere, which is your classic men's fragrance kind of smell to it. It smells beautiful. There's a little bit of hint of masculine, but on a man, this is a winner. This is my number 2 here. This is a winner. I really, really enjoy this fragrance. The longevity is really good too, especially with the cedar and the patchouli in there. It does dry down to more of a woody scent. Like, all the other notes tend to dwindle away and you're left with the woodiness on that skin, like this skin woodiness, which smells really sexy. But yeah, this one is a winner for sure. Number 1 is a brand new release. This one is like brand new. I've had this, gosh, I think I've had it for a week already. I've been playing with it and trying it, and I had wanted to see it on my guy's skin too, just to see how it was on his skin versus my skin, because sometimes, you know, we have very different chemistry, the two of us, that fragrances that I think are really good, I smell on him and I'm like, wow, that is like knocked out of the park. It smells so good. So I like seeing that balance on how things go. But it is by Roja Parfums, and it is Oligarch. Ooh, I'm so excited. If you watched my Instagram, you saw that I got this. I was so excited because I had actually gotten, I had wanted to try more of his men's fragrances, and I got the Discovery Kit, which gives you a voucher to buy one of them. You get the credit toward buying a bottle, and I wanted the Oligarch, and I was so excited for it, and finally got around to it, and then it was like gone, and then I saw they had this parfum, and I was like, hello, I'm excited, and it turns out they told me to just exercise some patience when I said the EDP wasn't there anymore. And it was because they had this sent to me, which was really very nice. I'm very, very, very appreciative. You know, I love my Rojas. I did have a purchase that I made a while ago. I was waiting for Roja to sign them. So I'm usually fine waiting like 2 months for my packages. I really don't mind, and I'll have Roja sign them for me. And this was in there and I totally forgot, and it is the EDP version. So I do have the travel size. I was able to try them both side by side. I know like nobody really has both, which makes me really happy. And again, I wanted to try it on both our skin. So let's get to this number 1 baby here. So for starters, they are the same notes in the EDP and in the Parfum version, which is the new release. Not very different from like when he had the Parfums, the EDP versions in the women's, and then he came out with the Parfum, the Essence de Parfum. Also in the men's collection, he had the EDP, and he came out with the Cologne de Parfums, which people are saying, oh, they're so different. They're really not. They're the same notes, the same fragrance, but the difference with the concentration is you just have a different percentage of oil. And the thing about that is it changes the evaporation rate. So what you're gonna get is different notes at different periods, but it's still the same fragrance, the same notes. The dry down will be the same. I like to equate it to the tortoise and the hare. So you'll have the EDP version here. In this case, in those cases, it's like the eau de cologne or the essence, which is kind of like the toilette versions. It has more alcohol in it, so it evaporates faster. And what you're smelling is the evaporation. That's when you smell something as it evaporates and it's projecting. So out the gate, the EDP smells better. It just smells more rich. It smells a little bolder. Versus this is heavier in oils and lasts longer, but it's a little slower out the gate. So you don't get that punch that you get from this. However, give it 20 minutes and they're kind of the same. So on this one, of all the citruses, there's a whole opening note of citruses in here. I actually get grapefruit because I get this little bit of bitterness to it in a really good way. It opens with the lemon and the bergamot and the lime and lavender and thyme. So you have all these citruses. The one that's not listed, which is grapefruit, is actually what I get. And then what happens on my skin when I use this one is the leather starts to sneak in, but it's really gentle how it comes through and kind of cradles the citrus notes. It doesn't trample it. It lets the citrus notes still have its day in the sun, because the citrus notes, you know, they pass fast, they evaporate very quickly and then they're gone. But this leather just kind of gently comes in and kind of just coddles it. And then what's really interesting is on my skin, you get this, like, you can actually smell this coconut coming through. And it kind of changes the party a little bit to this like tropical kind of flair. And then you get the apple. Let me put this here. Citrus and lavender and thyme for sure. And then you get this very, very delicate leather just kind of sneaking in. And then you get these fruity notes of this orange blossom mixing in with the citrus notes, kind of taking its place a little bit. And then that leather kind of just marries a little bit with this creamy coconut, and they kind of just coddle the fruity notes, right? And the coconut brings a little bit of this tropical kind of flair, but it's subtle tropical. It's this subtle hint, just giving that kind of sway to the fragrance. And then you get this apple and blackcurrant that kind of join the party, and they're delicately dancing together, very well blended. You get this oak moss that comes in late in the game, which is just your classic men's oak moss if you like those oak moss fragrances. A little bit of patchouli mixed in with it, never really overtaking it. And that pop of pink pepper. This does dry down where first, you know, those citrus notes are vanishing, then a little bit of those fruity notes vanish, and then it'll dry down to more of this kind of woody oak moss kind of fragrance. That is so incredibly beautiful. Oh my goodness, what he did here. This definitely leans masculine. I've worn this. I was shocked that I could wear it to try it and was like, this isn't so bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's no feminine energy in this where I didn't feel sexy wearing this. I can wear it. It's refreshing, but I'm wearing a men's fragrance kind of a thing. But on a man, this is stunning. And they're both stunning. If you liked the EDP, you didn't think it lasted very well, it's incredible. I do get those woody notes quicker in here, which makes sense because all the other notes are evaporating faster. I get more of this like vetiver and creamy woods pop through way earlier in the fragrance than with the parfum. And the parfum, they need to kind of dry down a little bit, and then I start really getting those woods. So again, it's not that it's different, it's the same. You're just getting these notes at a different rate, which can kind of change things up a little bit for you. I think it's incredible. This is so beautiful. Like it's getting all creamy. You get that creamy, first the leather is gentle, then this creamy coconut, then you get this like vanilla and tonka bean and amber and all these nice creamy notes that just kind of blend so nicely. This just smells, I mean, he even says it on the side, like this smells of success. This smells very sophisticated and elegant, like this is the guy getting ready to get on his private jet. This is what he's wearing, all sharp day outfit, and he's wearing this. This smells incredible. It's incredible. This is why I needed it. I needed this, my guy to wear this. Like, he needed this. This is him. This is him. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. And that is my top 10 Regal, sophisticated, elegant, classy fragrances for men and women. I really don't think you can go wrong with any of them on this list. I think they're all gonna make you look really good. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Mwah.